Welcome class 11th once again in Classroom Notes by Rekha Jain, and today I am continuing with the chapter Ranga's Marriage. It's part 2. Part 1 has already been issued and I had discussed up to the point where narrator had talked to Ranga about the marriage and narrator had felt disappointed over Ranga's views on marriage. So he had decided in his mind that he would get Ranga married, and that too with a girl whom he knew. And the name of that girl was Ratna, who was the niece of Rama Rao. She had come from a big city, although she was an orphan, means she had lost her parents, but she had come to her uncle's house who had brought her up. So next morning author went to Rama Rao's wife and informed her that he wanted to send some buttermilk for them, and also told his wife to send Ratna to fetch buttermilk. It was a Friday and she was looking beautiful in a grand sari. And author requested her to sit to sing a song in the praise of Lord Krishna. She started singing. By this time Ranga, who had been called by the narrator, had come there. Having listened to such a melodious voice, he stood at the threshold, that means at the entrance, because he didn't want to disturb the singer. But simultaneously he was curious to see the singer, and very carefully when he looked inside, when he peeped inside, the light which was coming in the room was blocked due to his appearance there, and Ratna noticed and she abruptly stopped there. And the narrator compares Ranga's situation with a fellow who had bought the best quality mango, who hardly had tasted its peel, that means its skin, uh, before biting its juicy flesh, that means its pulp. Before that, it slipped out of his hand. And the same situation was with Vado Ranga. He could hardly listen to the melodious voice when Ratna had already stopped. Ranga became disappointed. He went inside and sat on a chair and inquired about the purpose by the narrator why he had called him. Ratna and Ranga were standing at a distance. For some time nobody spoke, and Ranga had been looking at the girl again and again, and when narrator and Ranga's eyes met, Ranga felt embarrassed, and then he admitted that it was due to his arrival she stopped abruptly, so he decided to go. He just spoke but did not act. That means mere words, that means words did not match his action. That means he didn't go because he had developed an interest in Ratna. Now author became so confident here that he compares himself with he goat, Ranga with a lion, and when Ranga asked who was the girl, so he behaved like the he goat who was in the shelter of the god in a temple. God is being called here Ratna, and he casually said what he had to do by asking this, because narrator said that he was married and Ranga was not a marrying kind. And moreover, when Ranga asked whether she was married or not, and there was excitement in his tone. He could not hide that excitement. Here narrator spoke a lie, told a lie, and said she was married a year ago. On listening this, Ranga's face dried up, shriveled like a roasted brinjal. There is the simile used by the narrator. And then Ranga departed from there. Then next morning, narrator went to Shastriji because he had already made a plan. He directed Shastriji, when they come to him, how should he speak. And in the afternoon when they went there, he was about to spoil the plan by speaking. When Shastriji said, how long has it passed since we met? Narrator was about to spoil the whole plan by saying, but only this morning. Just then Shastriji Shastriji just then interfered by saying, nothing. Let us continue. And then he directed. He felt relief that Shastriji had saved the plan. And then he compares his mistake with the grains which might have been busted in an open air, in the hot air. It was Shastriji who saved the plan. And then Shastriji just spoke formally. Accountant clerk's son doesn't come to him so frequently. What he can do for him? Then narrator told him to take out his paraphernalia, that means his accompaniment, that means all his instruments, tools and instruments which usually Pandits use, and demanded that by reading his Science of Astrology, he should tell what is the cause of worry of my beloved friend. And Shastriji took out sheet of papers, some cowries, and book of palmyra leaves, and he spoke. Earth is an ancient science, and it's a long story. If I start telling you, you will feel bored. And then he moved his lips, calculated by his fingers, and asked about the star, which Ranga never knew. Shastriji said not to worry, and then he shook his head, made some calculations, and then said, it's a girl. And when he told that it's a girl, narrator was about to laugh. Somehow he controlled his laughter, and then he turned to Ranga and exclaimed with surprise that exactly was thought by him. And then he suggested, Shastriji suggested, it may be, the name of the girl may be of something which is found in the ocean. For example, Kamal, Kamla, or Pachi the mouse. If not Pachi, it must be Kamla. Narrator suggested, why not Pearl or Ratna? Ratna, the niece of Ramarao. Then he further inquired from Shastriji, are there any chances of the negotiations bearing fruits? It means if they start talking to them, can they be successful? And Ranga's face lit with happiness. And then he said, no, Shastriji, that girl is married. And then again Ranga became disappointed. Now they went back. On the way fell the house of Ratna. And Ratna was standing at the gate, and narrator asked Ranga to stop there, and he went inside. After a few moments, when he came outside, excitedly he told Ranga, surprise, this girl is still unmarried. And Ranga became very happy. Then he made the narrator swear by God. Swear on the name of Madhvacharya means swear by God. Was that true? Then he said, yes. And Ranga bluntly, that means straightforwardly admitted, yes, Shastriji was telling the truth, because the cause of my concern that was spoken by Ranga, he said the cause of his concern was Ratna. Next time when author met Shastriji, he made fun, he mocked him by saying that, he made fun of his Shastra by saying that, Shastriji, your Shastras are so great, and you didn't raise even the slightest trace of suspicion. What a marvelous Shastra yours is. Marvelous means great, grand. And Shastriji didn't like this fun, and he said, don't forget. He said, never to forget. Although he had given some hints, but he just took the hints as outlinings. Otherwise, he spoke according to his Shastras. Anyway, due to the efforts of the narrator, the marriage of Ranga and Ratna was materialized. Now narrator takes us in future This is the third birthday of his son, whom he had named after the narrator. Narrator's pen name is Shyama, and although Ranga's son is very fair in complexion and the narrator is very dark, just like a dark piece of oil cake, but still Ranga had named his son as per the English custom. He wanted to pay tribute to a fellow who was instrumental in their marriage. This is the second time when his wife is pregnant for 8 months, and Ranga's sister had come to look after her, and narrator was invited by Ranga for the dinner at his house on the occasion of the third birthday of his son. Narrator went there with a ring which he gifts to the son of Ranga, and narrator plays with Ranga's son. Ranga's son came running and puts his arm around his leg. This was how narrator shares his attachment with Ranga, and how he had made the plannings to get them married, and now he is taking leave from the readers. This was all about the chapter today. Thank you, student. Bye bye.